Now it's visible at my end. Okay, fine. So, very good evening and warm welcome to one and all present here. We are here on the last day of our orientation schedule, and as per the schedule today, we are having a very interesting. We are having a very interesting panel discussion with our own alumni on strategies for developing skills and competencies to be industry ready for successful progression of graduates from campus to corporate. So with this, I would like to invite Professor Ruchika Jaiswal to proceed with the session. Ruchika ma'am.
Thank you so much, Nishant. It is indeed a pleasure for me to, on behalf of ASB, to invite all of you to another panel discussion by our alumni. And as you know, this is one of the UGC's primary requirement that we have Deeksharambh, which is a guide to the student induction program, which will help new students to adjust and feel comfortable in the environment. And we also wish to inculcate some ethos and cultures of the institution into them, help them build bonds with each other's students and the faculty members. And we also wanted to expose them to a larger purpose of self-exploration. So the best way to orient a student for all this is to invite our alumni to brief the students about the various aspects. And these lines are for all four of my alumni, that I would like to express my sincere gratitude towards each and every one of you to be present here. I know it must have taken a lot of effort for joining this session. You all are always talked by your faculties, your professors at ASB very fondly. And we really appreciate you. You are holding very good key positions in the organization. You are contributing a lot to the society for the development of the society, and thus you are justifying your years you have spent here at your alma mater. So I'm sure all this is going to be quite motivating for our second year students, and they would also aspire that one day, once they pass out, they would be in your positions. We are going to start our discussion. I would like to invite Ria Bajaj to give opening the discussion. Just to tell you a brief about Ria, you know, students, it's very difficult to introduce our students. We know them so much. So what to say and what to leave, it becomes a difficult proposition. So Ria completed her BBA in 2016. As she says, she had a 3 year of fun-filled life at Amity, and she started off her journey as a digital marketer, and she experienced the typical digital agency life for almost 5 years at two different companies. One was Addictive Media and one was Effort, which is a digital agency based in Delhi NCR. And because she wanted to put her passion forward, she created a creative angle for the family and friends celebrations, and she put her all the skills in starting her new venture by the way of wedding vision. So now she is working as a full-time wedding planner, a dream that she had all her life. So I would like to welcome Ria to open up the discussion and come out with some deliberations. And maybe you can brief our students a very brief about your venture also. So Ria, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Ruchika ma'am, for such a nice introduction. I feel like I'm so old today that I'm giving these important tips to all these students present here. And especially I'm starting off with I'm the first speaker, so I feel like I'm so old today. But hi everyone, this is Ria Bajaj. I am one of the ASB alumni members present today to share with you some of the important tips for developing skills for your corporate life ahead. Though I feel I am too young for this, I still have a long way to go, but I have jotted down some of the important things that I have learned in the past few years of my experience of corporate life. Even if 1% of this helps you, I'd be more than happy. And I'll just share my presentation, a small presentation that I have prepared. Is it visible to all?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So starting with a little about me, although Ruchika ma'am has already introduced, but I'll just repeat. After completing my BBA and 3 years of unfilled life at Amity, I started off my journey as a digital marketer, and I experienced the typical digital agency life for almost 5 years at Addictive Media and iFort. These are two digital agencies based in Delhi NCR. Now, when I say typical digital agency life, I am sure most of you won't be aware of what exactly do I mean by typical digital agency life. But I would request you all to pay sincere gratitude to all those digital marketers that you know in your friend circle or anybody in your family. But why emphasizing on this fact is because when I say I'm a digital marketer, I have experienced it myself in my family and even friends. They're like, तुम लोगों को करना ही क्या होता है पूरे दिन? You just have to surf Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, WhatsApp, and what? मतलब this is such a fun-filled life that you need to experience being a digital marketer. But let me tell you, there are a lot of things that go behind the scenes, and there are a lot of things that go behind what you see on Instagram as a brand page. So I would request you all कि whenever you talk to any digital marketer, please उनको थोड़ा सा ऐसे मत बोला करो कि तुम लोगों को करना ही क्या होता है, because there's a lot of things, there's a lot of hard work that goes behind it. Now, with the passion for putting forward my creative angle to all the family and friends celebrations, somewhere down the line, I always wanted to do it forever. Like even in office, if we had any party going on, I was always the organizer for those parties, and which is why I always felt like this is something that I want to do. And now here I am putting down all the skills that I have learned into my new venture called Wedding Vision. I am working as a full-time wedding planner, which was a dream long pending. Along with that, I also help my dad with marketing for his 20-year-old wedding photography business, which is run by the name of Bajaj Studio. In this presentation, I have tried to keep all the points relatable as an Amitian, and what all do you experience on a daily basis as a student. Although I feel like some things might not be relatable because right now, because of COVID, all the classes are being held online and you guys are not able to go to college. But I'll try to make it as much relatable as possible for all of you. Now, starting off with the first point, which is confidence is always the key. From giving a presentation on your summer project in college to pitching a new client in your corporate job, the first and the most important thing that you require is confidence about yourself, confidence in yourself. If you're not confident about yourself, you have already failed it. You need not always be perfect. I remember this one time when me and my colleague had to give a presentation to our manager on the same topic, and my presentation had way more content than hers, but she was the one who actually rocked her presentation. Even though my content was more informative, it was her confidence that literally stole the show. She was so good at selling her content that it ruled over literally everything. These were little experiences that I gained. These were the times when I felt bad because whenever I had to give any presentation in college, I always used to run away from it by either bunking the class or being absent on that day. Or if it was a group presentation, I always used to ask my friends to go forward and do it and give me just 1 or 2 lines and just get done with it. So if you guys get such opportunities, please go ahead and do it. Don't think that my friends will laugh on me or whatever you are thinking, because it's better to learn from now, because going forward when you have to present it in front of your bosses, in front of your colleagues, that is very much important for you to keep in mind. So yeah, confidence is always the key. So please make sure that you always have confidence in yourself. Even if you're going wrong, it's okay to go wrong because you learn from those mistakes. Now, next is be passionate to learn new things and don't be afraid to take chances, because over the years I have realized that every little thing, every small thing that you do on a daily basis, it teaches you something, which is why I would urge you all to that anything comes in front of you, just go for it, just do it. Don't bother much about how will it go, just do it, just go for it, because if not anything else, you will at least have a sense of achievement that you did something different, or if not, at least you will get to know that it is not your cup of tea, but you will get to learn something or the other at the end of the day. So whatever opportunity comes your way, please go for it, please go for it. And I'm not talking about it in academic ways, but anything that comes your way. Third point which I want to focus on is be an active and attentive listener. But I personally feel that you learn half of the things being a good listener. When you listen to somebody properly, you get to learn a lot of things. A very simple example for this: when you surf your Instagram on a daily basis, Instagram feed, you come across a lot of motivational stories or motivational stuff that you see on IGTV videos, and there are times when you actually learn from those videos. Same thing happens everywhere, even in corporate life. Everything is literally relatable to your daily life. So please be an active and attentive listener. You get to learn a lot when you listen to everybody else. Next thing is proper communication makes everything better. So for this, I have a small example. Now imagine it's your POM class. I don't know if POM is a subject in second year or first year. I don't remember exactly.
Principles of management.
Sorry?
Principles of management, Ria?
No, production and operations management.
Okay, yeah, they would
but
be
it can
having
be any subject. It's just for an example.
Right.
So, for example, if a teacher explained you everything and you didn't understand it properly, but you didn't say anything at that time. Now, what will happen next is that either you'll go to your friend to understand it, or you will just Google it, or you maybe just ignore it. Now, tomorrow, if that thing comes up in your exam, you would be confused and you might just miss it. Now, this sounds very small right now, but now imagine this whole situation if you would have properly communicated with your teacher that you didn't understand it. Again, I'm emphasizing on this fact that it sounds very small, but the same thing happens in your corporate life too. You get to learn a lot of new things on a daily basis. And if you have this behavior, you will experience a lot of problems if you don't properly communicate, because proper communication makes everything better. Next thing that I want to focus on is time management. For this also, I could think of a very relatable example. Now, we all have 75% attendance rule in Amity. Now, right now, what happens is when you think about it, you're like, kya yaar, mere jo dusre college ke friends hai, they don't have the 75% rule and they're literally enjoying their college life so much. They're going out, they're hanging out, ye, wo. But tomorrow, when you'll have to get up every day, no matter what your mood, and you have to work for 9 to 10 hours straight, that is when you'll realize that how important it is to have proper time management. Right now, you feel that you can miss the first class and go to your second class, ek ghante ka time mil jayega, but that's not what happens in corporate life. If you have to be there in office at 9:30, you have to be there at office at 9:30. You don't have any other option. So it's important for you to start doing that right now, because the transition is not at all easy from college life to corporate life. So yeah, please focus on time management. Next thing that I want to focus on is be honest to yourself. Now, whenever you get any assignment to do in college, abhi kya hota hai, you guys focus on copy pasting it from your friends or borrowing your seniors projects, plagiarism. मैंने खुद ये सब चीजें बहुत करी है, which is why it is very much relatable. Asking my seniors कि यार अपना project दे दो, what I'll do is I की जगह 1 कर देंगे, 0 की जगह O कर देंगे, plagiarism में तो आएगा नहीं, पकड़े जाएंगे नहीं, मार्क्स मिल जाएंगे, बस हो गया काम. But this is not how it works in corporate life. You need to be honest to your work. You need to be honest to yourself. Whatever you are representing, whatever you are working on, you need to be very honest with it. And if you don't know anything, it's okay. It's okay to take up the blame when you have messed up, but it is important to be very much honest to yourself. Next is the most important point that I want to talk about, although all of them are important, but next thing that I want to focus on is the internship that you all will be doing this year. Internship teaches you a lot. Those 30 days will teach you a lot of new stuff. Please don't focus on getting any certificate from your family member or something. कोई जुगाड़ करने का मत सोचना, please, because if you don't do internship, you will be missing out on a lot of stuff, a lot of important stuff for you. So I would like you all to emphasize on the fact that internship is very important. Please do internship, whatever way comes. Please internship karo. It's very important, because all the points that we will be discussing today, not just me but everyone who will be speaking up, उसमें से आधी चीजें you get to learn from internship itself. So please internship पे focus करना. And last thing that I want to focus on is make the best use of technology. Especially after COVID, the work culture in the corporate world has undergone a drastic change. In this digital world, with the help of technology, it is possible to be quick at work, provided you know the hacks of using technology, which is why it is very much important to learn and understand technology. Each and every small thing will help you a lot in your corporate life. I have a few more pointers to share. I'm sorry if this sounds like gyan to everybody right now, but again, even if 1% of this helps you all, I would be more than happy. Now, first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to corporate life is that you need to step out of your comfort zone and challenge yourself. Uh, right now, it's a carefree world for you. Now, carefree world of campus to corporate life, there are a lot of changes, and the biggest thing you sacrifice when you move from campus to corporate is your comfort zone. You are ruling your time right now, and whatever you are doing with your time, it's in your hands right now. But when it comes to corporate life, you need to stick to work timings and calls from work at all times of the day. You need to miss those birthday parties of your friends. You need to sleep in early to wake up for early morning presentations and a lot of other stuff. So the key is to be mentally prepared for it and start doing these small things to make your life easy, because this transition is not at all going to be smooth for you. So it's better you start right now. Next thing is you need to define your goals. Why I'm focusing on this fact is that अभी क्या होता है, if you wake up late in your college life, you always have the chance to miss the first lecture and join the next one. But when you move from college to corporate life, you must be at office in time every day. And if your office timing is 9:30, if you're entering your office at 9:31, you will have to bear for it. Salary kategi ya kuch na kuch hoga, but you don't have that option. So you need to realize that why are you putting in the hard work and what you need in your life, out of your life and career, which is why it is very important that you have these career goals to be motivated to get up every morning. Next is you always learn from your mistakes. Now, there are times when you make a lot of mistakes, which is absolutely fine. I have been there, I have made mistakes, and I have learned from those mistakes. The only thing is that you need to make sure that you don't repeat those mistakes again, because these mistakes are what make you grow as a person on a daily basis, not just in corporate life, but in real life, in personal life also, you get to learn a lot from your mistakes. So it's okay to make mistakes because you always learn from those mistakes. And increased responsibilities are equal to increased opportunities for growth. Now, right now, you might feel that abhi meko ye bhi karna hai, meko wo bhi karna hai. There's a lot of stuff that I need to do. Why do I have so much to do? And a lot of that stuff. But you realize it later that it's good that you had so much responsibilities. It's because of those responsibilities that you grow. So it's okay to have increased responsibilities because this is the age to learn. आगे जाके कब क्या opportunity मिले कुछ नहीं पता. So जितना अभी मिल रहा है, please learn from it. And learn to say no. This is something that I am still learning for myself, and I would want to emphasize on this fact that there will be times that when you need to say no. It's not important for you to say yes every time and be ahead of everybody every time, because you need to look after yourself as well. So there will be times when you need to say no, and you need to learn to say no, because this is not something that you get to do every single day. So you need to learn to say no. It's okay to have a break. So this is something which is also very important, because when you are working, you feel like you can do this, you can do that, you want to do everything, but you need to realize the importance of having a break, because there will be times then when your body, your mind asks for a break, but you won't listen to it because you would be like, nahi mujhe ye karna hai, mujhe wo karna hai. But it's okay to have a break. Now, I've already emphasized on this fact, but I would like to say this again. It's okay to not be perfect at everything and ask for help. If you don't know something, just be very open about it. Just communicate it properly and just say that you don't know and you need help. It's okay to ask for help. And no work is small. I have experienced this. I have seen people say this. कई लोग ऐसे होते हैं जिनको ego पे आ जाता है कि why should I do this? This is not my task. But no work is small. Please, whenever you enter a corporate life, you need to understand this very importantly. You need to learn to manage stress. Now, the biggest problem when moving from college to corporate is the stress that accompanies you. You will face the immense crunch of time, and therefore you need to learn to de-stress properly. Now, what I do is, like, for me, the best therapy is to maintain a hobby, because the hobby gives you time to relax and get away from any stress. So you need to manage to make time for family and friends and indulge in some self-care through this hobby. And lastly, saving is as important as having fun. Now, the most exciting part of the life transition from college to corporate is money. The salary credit message at the beginning of every month means a whole lot of opportunities to have fun, but you need to be very careful and learn how to save and invest money, because this is what keeps you going. So it is very important for you to save and invest money. And with this, my gyan comes to an end. I hope this helps you in some or the other way.
Ria, it was so nice hearing you, and your gyan was so perfect. I only hope that the second year guys are actually listening. I'm sure all the other three people of at least the alumni will agree to what all you have said. Definitely, confidence is something that you need.
Yeah.
And this was very perfect. You said that from a presentation in a class to pitching to a corporate,
Yeah.
you start learning from here only, that you have to fight out your project. No, this is my own project and this is my results. Very good, Rian. And it's a pleasure to hear you. It's
Thank you so
always
much.
my pleasure to hear all my alumni all my
I've been there,
students.
na, I have been there as a student. I know what all is going on in their mind. आधे से ज़्यादा लोग इस टाइम ये भी हो रहे होंगे यार कितना ज्ञान दे रही है, इतना boring stuff and all of that.
And Ria, there is just one thing which I want to tell you and all the students who are here, that we have a stronger plagiarism software which identifies I01 everything. So even they cannot do that way. So we could identify that.
I have been there and I have done this, तो मेरा तो हो गया था.
No, you know, and I in the last about 6 months during the lockdown, I have talked to so many of the pass out students. Everybody emphasizes that it is very important to do a very good internship,
Yeah.
which is what helps you when you go for a job. They don't realize it right now. They want to copy
Yeah.
it. They want to join an uncle's firm who'll just give a free certificate without a work.
Yeah.
But that is not which helps. All those who did a very good internship actually did very good in life.
Yeah, it was
Right.
actually, for me, it was my internship that helped me decide what I need to do in my life. That is how I decided to be a digital marketer.
Right. Okay, so students, if you have any questions, you can raise your hands. Although we'll like to take question answer round at the end, but you can raise your hands and target the question to any of the alumni which you want. So we'll come to Tarun now. Tarun, I would like to welcome you here, all the way from Chennai. So Tarun comes with an experience of close to 2 years in marketing research and strategy, business development and account management. After graduating from Amity School of Business, he had a short stint in a digital marketing advertising firm, hashtag Incorporate, and was a part of the account management where he handled the sales cycles for B2B clients. Within 6 months, he moved on to do his MBA from IBS Hyderabad, during which he had a chance to intern with Marketing Research Agency, which was run by the former country head of AC Nelson and IMRB. Now, after his MBA, he is working with a reputed sales ecosystem of MongoDB as a business development researcher, where he is responsible for sales research and strategy, which involves end-to-end enablement of account planning, account intelligence, competitive intelligence, and much more. So, Tarun, I would like to invite you to share your experience, and also if you could just talk about your current profile, because I find it very interesting, something related to research.
Sure, ma'am, sure. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you're audible.
First of all, good evening, everyone, and good evening to my former professors. I do see you in the chat. So Teams is not something I'm very used to. I use Zoom a lot, so this is all Greek and Latin to me. So first of all, thank you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to come in front of everyone. As Ria just mentioned, it's actually I think it's a privilege to come and speak to my juniors. मतलब इतना भी बड़ा हो गया, मतलब it's too soon to be too good to be two types. So yeah, thank you for the opportunity first of all. Secondly, I knew before that I just have a comment to what Ria said. The account management or the digital marketing experience. I could totally relate to when she just mentioned that term, because the experience you get working in a agency, the agency life, that's what they call it. It's completely, there's no comparison with anything else, because the amount of pressure you get from your internal teams and your external teams is, you can't go anywhere. In other jobs, if external you're getting pressure from the external team, you go to the internal. But here you're bombarded from both the sides, and you'll have to find your own peace there. Now, answering your question, ma'am, I was aware of this as well, because my role by the name itself, it's like one leg is in business development, other leg is in research. So what I do is I fall into the pre-sales category. So here, I think let me put it in a example where even the students will be able to relate to it. In a personal selling process, it's a 7 to 8 step process, right? So in the third or the fourth step, you have something called as researching about your prospects, understanding who you are reaching out to, why you're reaching out to, how you're going to reach out to, and how you're going to classify them as say your champion in the company, or your economical buyer, or the decision maker. So we do all the back end research on which company we should be targeting, within that company, which people we should be targeting, which teams we should be targeting, how is the team going to be aligned, who can be the possible detractors, who can be the possible champions, the economical buyer, the decision makers. And I'm not going to bore everyone with the jargons. When I was in your place, even I had no idea about any of the jargons. I am boasting of the jargons because I know it. But yeah, so this is what I do. Hope I've given an understanding. If not, I can explain further.
No, Tarun, we got it, definitely. So you can continue.
Sure. So yeah, as ma'am mentioned, I had a very short stint in a digital marketing agency, and then I proceeded ahead with my MBA. That's where the love for research came up, and research is basically finding solutions to questions, right? You develop a hypothesis and you try answering that. You try to, and that's according to me, that's marketing, right? You understand what the need and wants are, and you satisfy them, right? So you need to understand it first, and that's where research comes into picture. That what is the pain and how can our company solve that pain for the customer. So that's basically my corporate life. Now coming, okay, let me just divide the next 5 to 10 minutes into two halves. One will be what I learned during my time in ASB, and one uh, what are my learnings during corporate life, which I thought I should have done in ASB, but it was too late by then. I crossed that barrier. Uh, all the second year students, I guess you are at the right time to take a call on certain things uh, with key decisions as well. So I'll focus more on the later part. What I learned from ASB is, first thing is the case-based learning. So this case-based learning will be magnified a lot in your masters or in your postgraduate courses. Right now, it will be relatively lesser. I'm not saying it's lesser, but it'll be relatively lesser. And me being there, I know a lot of us will not read the case studies fully. There are tips and tricks for that as well. Be it a Harvard case study, also you read the first para and the last para, you have the entire case study in your head. So that's a trick that everyone uses, but it is important to understand the entire case study, because once you go into your corporate life, there's no theoretical concepts. It's like how you apply them, right? So even today, if someone wants to know how to enter a market, Kellogg's entering the Indian market, that case study, I'm sure, is widely, it's printed in my head, like how they entered, how they wanted to change the behavior, which they couldn't obviously, and now they had to come up with ready to eat upmas. Kellogg's, I mean, I'm sure they themselves wouldn't have imagined coming up with a product like that. So, that's a great case study. So, topics like this are engraved with the help of case studies. Even today, I still remember Ruchi Jain ma'am giving this case study about Dabur. It was around brand regeneration or revitalization, one of it. Please don't ask me what the case study was. I remember it that ways. Or, it was a case study on Dalda. So all these case studies will give you an understanding of how theoretical concepts are applied in the real life scenario. So that's really important. So that's one learning. And then second thing is when you'll be working a lot in teams, right? In corporate life also, and within your within your peers as well. And sometimes there's this fight or confusion also that comes up, that who decides the teams. Sometimes the professors decide, sometimes you yourself decide, right? and and there, in every team there are different characters, right? There's one person who does the back end, there's one person who just piggybacks. So the thing I'm trying to tell you here is, try to embrace the power of differences. Not everyone is the same. Everyone has a strong point, everyone has a strong trait. And if you understand this very early in your college life, when you enter the corporate world, there will be if you start to embrace the power of differences, it will show you teamwork, right? So it will be portrayed in the right direction to the leadership as well. So you need to start to embrace the power of differences, understand try to understand what each one's traits are, and do accordingly. The third thing I learned during my time at ASB is accountability. So I would term it as, try to own what you do. The minute you take ownership, everything falls into place. Take it upon yourself that you are responsible for getting this job done, right? If suppose you're doing a market research project, if you have committed to getting 50 to 60 responses, make sure you get them legitimately, right? So once you start owning what you do, accountability comes into picture, and that will be portrayed well in the corporate once you enter the corporate field as well, right? So the last point I think is more aligned to me coming from I'm sorry, is there a question from anyone?
No, Tarun, you can continue.
Sure. Okay. The last point I'd like to mention is more aligned to the point that, I'm not from Delhi originally. So I'm sure from the 55 to 60 students here, uh, at least 10 to 15 of you might not be from Delhi, must be from the surrounding states or, from other states as well. The inclusivity and the diversity which I faced in my cohort was very helpful, because that way I got to interact with multiple people from different backgrounds, right? And just because it's an undergraduate course doesn't mean that your peer is doing his first course. In my batch, in my class, in my group, I had this one person who's already done one bachelor's, right? Even though it is not in a connected field, you learn a lot from that, from his experience. So that is that diversity is also something which will really help you, and it has helped me. Now the major points which I want to concentrate on was what I've learned during my corporate in my time in the corporate, which I think I should have done it long back. First thing would be awareness about the future of the industry and career options. So I'll tell you a live example, right? When I was in my final year, digital marketing was a buzzword. All right. So this was back in 2017. Digital marketing was a buzzword, and I just followed right into it. I never did my research that, what is the future? So why I'm giving you this example is today, if I say 6 months back or say a year back when I completed my MBA, I realized that data science roles are, abundant in the market, and that's going to be the near future. So let's back engineer it, right? When you go back to 2017, 2016, if I had done my research on understanding, data science roles, data analysis roles, data scientist roles, I would have understood that, learning Python or learning data science tools would have been more helpful to me, right? As I said, during my MBA, I got acquainted to research, and during my internship in my MBA, I got acquainted to research. That's when the topic of becoming an equity research analyst also came into my head. But by then I was too late. I was inclined completely towards marketing, right? It will be too late for me to shift. It'll be a complete career switch, and I'll have to start from the bottom. So being aware of what's happening in the industry, what the future is, and what the long-term future is, not just 2 or 3 years, but 5 to 10 years, where the industry and the society is moving, that'll be really helpful. And that's where, I think I'll echo what Riyad did mention, internships did help her in understanding what she wanted to do. So that's where I think, when many people say that, work for a year or two, or do your internship seriously, so that you understand how the corporate structure looks like, what are the different departments, how each function relates to itself. If I was a second year student, and if someone comes and tells me I'm a business development researcher, I'd be like, why is he doing the job of two people? By at least by designation, that's the job of two people. But when I actually explain, I'm sure many of you might be able to make sense that it is a job of one person, right? So that's where you understand the structure of a company, the functions, how they correlate with each other. So that's one. The second point I think I learned very late is networking. So I think this professors who have taught me would be able to understand that I was a shy person, right? I never got into anything. To put it in literal words in Hindi, पढ़ाई करो, books आया, कर लो, go to the room, enjoy, come back next day, revert. Same thing. It goes on and on. But that's where I went wrong. There are clubs in the in ASB for a reason. There are sports teams in ASB for a reason. You're good at it, you're not good at it, it doesn't matter. ठीक है, हर कोई नीरज शर्मा एक दिन में नहीं बनेगा. It's as simple as that. ठीक है, I'm not discouraging anyone. Please don't quote me anywhere. But yeah, my point being, yes, everyone likes to win in everything what they do, but it is not necessary that you have to be number one in everything. End of the day, there's only one gold, one bronze, one silver, right? So if you're lucky and if you are determined enough, you will be there. Otherwise, you will go with a whole lot of learnings as well. So why all this is important is networking comes into picture there. Today, I know someone who I played football with, I think in first year of college, is now having the biggest Maruti Suzuki dealership in the northeast of India, right? That networking, right now, I wouldn't know the importance. I'm sure right now I'm too young to even understand how it's going to be important. But I know that that network will be helpful to me down the line. Right now, I can confidently say that I know someone from every industry. Down the line, when everyone have their own corporate career, when they have their own family, that time you'll understand the importance of having someone who's working in that particular industry who can give you intel on that industry at any given point of time. Let's say I'm into research, right? I need to understand the current situation because of COVID, how the pharmaceutical sector boomed, or what are the challenges? There are definitely supply chain challenges, right? And I'm sure MongoDB's product can fit in there. So in order to understand those challenges, I know someone who has his own, pharmaceutical, I wouldn't say factory, but a huge dealership based out of Bareilly. And I can get the inside information, not insider trading information. Again, don't quote me anywhere. It's basic insider information to understand what the demand can be, or you can focus industry pains and challenges that way. So stop being shy. I know it's going to be weird. A person like me, I would have never imagined being in the business development field, because business development is actually going and speaking. You're literally the face. So I never imagined to be there. But if I had this skill back then, I think I would have say done better in the past 6 to 7 months. So that's one. Number three is going to be a very silly thing and a very small thing, which I'm sure the professors and everyone will agree. Learn Microsoft Excel. Half your corporate life and your time, regardless of the role you are in, your life will become easier. Learn Excel. I mean, stop going to courses just going to give you certificates, right? Open YouTube. It's the biggest free free learning edtech space. Go just type Excel for beginners, Excel for intermediates, for professionals, right? You'll get everything. Today, even if you don't know Python, if you know macros, you will get a data science job somewhere, right? So learn Excel. I mean, this is a very underrated skill. In some places it'll be Google Sheets. It's the same logic, right? You use Excel or Sheets. So this is one. The last thing, this is again, I piggyback this from Ria. Sorry, Ria. But the last point is financial knowledge, right? See, just because I was a marketeer, I ignored all the financial concepts. But today, when I do my research, I do know that understanding the financial position of a company is directly correlational to their ability to invest in my product or service. Don't quote me anywhere, not my product or service, MongoDB's product or service, right? So, back then when people are studying, financial statement of FSA, or, financial statement analysis, or financial risk management, or price to equity ratio, I was like, मैं क्या करूँगा उसके साथ? It's none of my business. Yeah, it's beyond my concern, right? But now, if I understand all that, I know if suppose the price to equity ratio is teda thoda, I know that they're going to fall sometime very soon. I can't be reliant, completely on them, right? I'll shift my focus to other important, accounts who have a better ratios, or I understand the financial position, and then based on that, I can pitch in the right product. So just because you're a marketing student doesn't mean you completely omit the financial aspects of it. And it's the same way around. Just because you're a financial student doesn't mean you miss out on the marketing aspect of it. Because once you become, for example, let's take the role of a financial planner. If you don't sell yourself and what value you can bring to the client, you cannot do anything. So even a financial person should know marketing skills. Even a marketer should know financial skills. And all the operations and HR people, please don't get offended. Your skills are also equally important. If you do not know how to manage a team, you're never going to become a leader, right? So that's where your OB skills come in. So everything plays a role. So that's why your first year and second year is important. If you say third year, only my electives are important. It's from a mark sheet standpoint of view, yes. From a placement standpoint of view, yes. But from a holistic development point of view, all your the first 2 years will add more value to you holistically than the third year individually. So, yep. And in Ria's words, that's my gyan for the day. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Tarun. So, I wouldn't say this was GAN. This was something, it is so, it's so pleasing to hear to you, and you have a whole world of experience accumulated. You're just a 4-year-old graduate. And I'm so happy, and I am sure Ruchi ma'am would echo my thoughts. In fact, she's sending me a message that they are speaking so well. We are so proud of you, I should say. It's so nice.
Thank you so much.
Ruchika, can I just, though you told me that you are going to allow me to speak later,
No,
said
ma'am.
that, ma'am, I'll call you later. But I just couldn't stop myself. I listened to Ria. I was on my way, so I had connected through the phone. Then as soon as I reached home, I started listening to Tarun, and I was grinning ear to ear. I mean, it just doesn't seem like they just graduated. They are so practical.
Yes,
Really, kudos to
absolutely.
both of you. I mean, I'm looking forward to Ayush and Pranita, but I'm so happy to see you bloom. I mean, really,
Thank you
it's
so much,
such a
ma'am. Thank
proud
you.
moment to see you people speak.
Yes, definitely. And ma'am, whatever Tarun is saying, I hope our second year guys are listening. See, case studies, students, they don't want to read a case study and come to the class. They take it as a burden. And in an online class, they can always keep themselves on mute and not contribute to the case study. But yes, case studies are so important learning. I really like this statement which Tarun said. Um, Embrace the power of differences. Every day when we give an assignment, every other day after that assignment, we get a message, ma'am, I want to change my team. This team is not working. Why 3? Why can't we be 4 or 5? Every other day. And when we tell them that it does not matter, you divide the work, you try to do, you won't be able to choose your team in corporate. So we seem like their enemy, that we are trying to decrease their marks. Tarun, it's really the power of differences which we have to embrace. And one more thing which I like about you is about that peer culture. Definitely, we don't learn from teachers, we don't learn from books, we learn from our peers. That is very important. And of course, networking clubs, I hope we'll have more participants. We have the marketing club in charge and the HR club in charge also here. Deepa ma'am and Divya ma'am are here, so I hope we'll be able to contribute more people to them. Thank you so much, Tarun. It was a pleasure having you with us. Yes. So it was a great pleasure to listen to you. So next, I would like to invite Pranita. She is a BBA plus MBA 2019 pass out from our institution ASB. She is currently working as HR executive at Intera Information Technologies, and her key areas are in audit, training, appraisal, analytics, employee connect, and welfare. She had been a very diligent student at ASB. She had a very good academic record, all-round performer, and she was the class representative for BBA plus MBA dual degree for the entire 4.5 years. She carried that burden of being the CR. She was the student coordinator of Amity Youth Fest at university level. She was the student representative for ASEAN delegates at AISEP Summit. She was the HR club president and vice president of Alumni Club of ASB. And she has been a keen researcher also. She has already published a research paper titled Strategic HRM Practice Competency Mapping in Deloitte. And apart from that, she has taken industry internship at Havells, Livewires Integrated, and also at Amplifon India as Sales and Operations Internet. I'm sure, Pranita, you must have got some awards also, which are not mentioned in here. So maybe you can talk about them.
Yeah. So first of all, a very good evening, Ruchika ma'am, Dr. Khandelwal. We are very pleased to be here. It's a great opportunity to come back to your roots and engage with the new upcoming generation of alumni that we are going to have. A very good morning to you, Ayush. I mean, of course, we are in the Indian Standard Time, but yeah, it's a morning for you. So I hope you have a good one and have a great day ahead. So a little bit about myself that I am a BBA plus MBA student. I started my academic journey back in 2015, and prior to that, my schooling is from DPS Noida. But let me get into some things like ma'am was talking about. So I have been very active in my college days. That was, so being the HR president, actively being in the part of Amity Youth Fest as a committee member, looking after the alumni meet under Dr. Khandelwal's, guidance and mentorship, and Dr. J.K. Sharma as well. But all of these things are very, very crucial in life. At that point of time, yes, there was I used to have that encouragement and motivation that I'll be able to, skip classes because I'll be involved in extracurricular. But little that I later realized that how important these things are. And at the same point of time, how important the academics are as well. So, being management students, if we are not able to utilize our skills and develop those skills, then it is a very sad story. And participating in these extracurricular activities in college actually helped me in developing those skills of multitasking, time management that is there, various presentation skills. I remember Dr. Jaiswal encouraging me always to give presentations during her class. I remember very fondly of management control systems that was there. So these are pretty important and crucial skills that are there, because irrespective whether you get into HR, you get into business development, you get into marketing, digital marketing, data sciences, finance backgrounds that are there, these skills are going to be applied in each and every single field. Okay, my company is an IT company. We are based out of the United States. Our major operations are based in US, Canada, and basically catering towards the SW product economy that's there in the US. But irrespective of that, being in the IT industry, one very important thing that I learned is communication skills. So when I'm talking about communication skills, it is not just the communication skills that are applicable to the IT industry. Okay. These skills, when I'm talking about my clients, so for example, Moderna being there, okay, so they are coming from a healthcare industry that is there. Mazda being there, so Mazda comes from an automobile industry. So all the communication skills vary industry to industry, and trust me, it is challenging when you are in heated conversations, right? You have to understand how to moderate your communication, where you have to literally push in, and where you have to pull the plug. So these skills are very important. I remember having one of the behavioral sciences classes, and I used to be like, what BS is this? But it is actually very important at the same point of time, because these are the same skills that if you're not going to learn right now, then it's the courtesy of HR in all the corporate world that we are going to be taking you through in various training and development activities that are going to be there. Okay, so very quickly, I have one presentation that I take for the freshers who join in my office. I look after induction and orientation. I also look after appraisals, promotion analysis, audit work that is there. I still remember very fondly when the first time I was introduced to audit was by Dr. Divya Goyal back in college, and when the NAC audit was happening. So it was a very brief experience share that I had. But little did I know that once I'll be joining HR, audit is going to be one of the main frame things that are going to be there. So I'll just quickly go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Yeah. Dr. Jaiswal, is my screen visible?
Yes, Pranita, it's visible.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay. So why is it campus to corporate? So basically to guide an individual to prove what their mettle is, basically making you industry ready and understand what the industry needs are, transforming the students to be ready individuals to deal with the corporate world. And trust me, it's not easy. When you enter, you have your hands shivering, your mind going in 10 places, and especially on the very first day, it's the most important thing is the first impression is the best impression, and it lasts forever. So it's a very necessity that you people understand like what the transition of campus to corporate is, and understand how you have to manage that change. So there are a lot of things when you enter the corporate world you have to understand and establish within yourself, and those values that are going to be helping you in developing better professionals in the later stages of your life. So now this is one table that I prepared. This is talking about the student life and an employee life. And trust me, the transition was not easy, because me being students, many of you might be able to relate when you're watching Netflix till 3 in the morning. And, on the contrary, when you are working as an individual and you have got deadlines, I am working on the audit till 3 in the morning. So the contrast changes are very different. It is not very easy to just have the dynamic change. So a little bit from starting with the first point. So it is very important to focus and from a student's perspective to improve their knowledge and skills. But on the contrary, for an employee, it is very important to develop soft skills that are there. So when I'm talking about soft skills, they are about your effective communication, your presentation skills, your leadership skills that are there, your time management skills are there, and many more. In a student life, examination is our priority, but in office life, each day is important. You cannot afford to skip out on a single day that is there. In as a student life, good marks become the most important successful things that are there. But in an employee life, every day is an exam. It is a survival for the fittest and the fastest. In a student life, we achieve towards getting 100% marks with the very little efforts that we make. I remember one of my days as well, because trust me, sometimes it was very difficult to manage classes and extracurricular, and there are responsibilities at home too. But little that I realized once I joined the office, that there are going to be more responsibilities, and to get certain things in life, for example increments, promotions, hikes, recognition, every day has to be important, and ensuring that every day is something productive is coming out of it. In college life, practical knowledge is that we inculcate is about 25%, and this is not something to do with the professors, this is something that has to do with you. In offices as well, the trainings only happens once a year or twice a year. But for us, it is important in our developmental plans that we take trainings by ourselves, certifications by ourselves. And in today's world, living in 2021, all of these things are available readily in your palms. So it is upon you how you utilize your time, and develop on those various skills that are there. Coming on to the further points that are there, it is very individual results that are interlinked with for the student, but when you're an employee, you have to manage your team. I remember Tarun talking about the team dynamics that were there, and Dr. Jaiswal talking about how important it is that we work with our peers. And trust me, even I didn't like when I was, grouped with certain members of my class. But little did I know that those skills are going to come in very, very handy. Because trust me, sometimes you get very, very challenging people to work with. They have a different set of mind, they have a different way of working, and you have a completely different era of work style and ethics that you have. But still, you have to adjust, you have to learn. It's like a marriage, nothing less than a marriage. So you have to learn that. In student life, I remember I was primarily responsible for my good performance in exam, because my father always used to tell me that if you do not perform well in your exams, you are not going to be allowed to be participating in many extracurriculars. So for me, that was one of the drivers to perform well in exams. But when I'm talking about my job, there are several things that are interlinked. We have to take ownership in our work. We have to be responsible and accountable for our work. If something goes wrong, then it's gonna come out of your pocket, not your boss's pocket. And trust me, it happens a lot. So be very careful, be very active, rather I'd not say active, I'd say proactive about the working style and the ethics that you're preparing for yourself. So this is the three most important, triangle of success pyramid that I teach many of my engineers, those who are there working in cybersecurity, working in mainframes, as about attitude, skill, and knowledge. And trust me, when I joined, I had no knowledge about this. But little did I know that once I start working, these skills are going to be there in my everyday life that is there. So as you can see in the pyramid that is there, so talking about knowledge, the basic theories, information, facts, figures, description, learning, sciences are basic fundamentals that you're going to learn in knowledge. I'll tell you something very personal. I never used to come back home, open the books, and study. What I used to do was, and Dr. Jaiswal might remember, I used to be the first bencher who used to sit, and I used to very carefully listen to what the professor was talking about. And trust me, when I used to come home, I used to get on Netflix or probably playing some sport, and my dad is like, if you fail this time, you're going to have a nice one from me, a nice hearing from me. But again, every single time in my, when the marks used to come, I was always used to score an A plus or a B plus or, A minus that was there. The only thing is to have listening skills, right? Observational skills. These are very important. So knowledge is the foundation, but how you apply it, and you can apply it via your attitude and your skills. So you have to develop those skills first. You have to set goals for yourself. You have to manage your time. So for example, I was here in the office just for an hour back, and I drove at the speed of 100. Not that I'm going to ask you to do and go ahead and driving at 100. I was just on the other hand giving a call to Dr. Jaiswal that I'm going to be 45. I'm going to be reaching at 5:45, but I still managed to reach by 5:30 and joined in on time. So, and always understand that your time is important, and so is others' time important as well. If you respect other people's time, then people are going to respect your time as well. Okay. Be very reasonable about things that are there. Don't be unreasonable. For example, this is a task that I cannot manage. There's no task that you cannot manage. You have the skills. You just have to explore the potential that is there inside of you. Communication, like I talked about it earlier, effective communication is very, very important at the same point of time. Like I told you, guys are going to be working in various industries that are going to be there, but you have to understand in those specific industries also, the clientele of that industry is going to be in various different industries and in the global economies as well. So communication skills have to be built, and you need to start speaking up. Question your teachers, question your peers. That's even if you're wrong, even if you're asking the most haywired question that is there, but at least go ahead and ask, right? What is the maximum that's going to come out of it? People are going to be like, oh, I think you need to really reframe your question that is there, but ask that question that is there. Develop interpersonal skills. So this is very important, that if you have interpersonal skills, you are going to have likely to be very engaged with various teams, engaged with various departments, and trust me, it's going to be easier for you, because corporate politics is not easy, and it's not everyone's cup of tea. So if you have good interpersonal skills, if you develop great relationships with everyone, trust me, the corporate politics just gets cut into half right then and there. It's all about relationships and how healthy you maintain them, even if you don't like the person. I know in my office there are several people that I don't like, but when I meet them, then I always greet them with a smile on my face, whether I like it or if I'm just going in my mind or just buzz off. But still, on the other hand, I'm like, a very good evening to you, how are you doing? So these are some interpersonal skills that you need to develop. Coming about attitudes. So attitude is very, very important. If you have the right attitude, if you have the right mindset, trust me, nobody can stop you. You have to be self-motivated to get up every day. the worst thing for me is being in HR, and my company being there in the United States. I am working 24/7. Probably tonight at 10, I have appraisal meeting that's going to happen, and I have to take the appraisal for the Mazda team. So irrespective of that, and I still have to be there 8:30 in the morning. So there's no room or space to cry about things. So you have to be self-motivated enough that probably when I'm 50, I can take retirement and I can just sit at ease. That is there. So be self-motivated. Trust me, the hustle is worth it. Being self-confident, irrespective, there are times before this meeting also, I was when I was driving in 100, I was like, oh shit, what's going to happen? I've not gone through the presentation. But irrespective of that, see me how I'm talking. I'm at ease. uh, it always happens whenever you're going out, you are going to be just questioning yourself. But at the end of the day, you know that you're going to sail through it. You have to be confident about yourself, because there are certain things that you have it inside you. You just have to realize it, or sometimes not even think about it, right? Integrity is very important. When I talk about corporate ethics, we live in a world where value systems are degrading. But there are people, those who might be a rarest of the rare day, that just remind you of a good deed that you did 10 days before, and it's just resulted back in. So maintaining that integrity and those ethos is very, very important. Be honest about yourself, about your work. If you're honest, trust me, it pays well. I remember when I started last year, I was a fresher. But today I'm handling the legal team, I'm handling with the digital marketing team, I'm working with the audit team, and never did I imagine that I'll be able to do, so many tasks that are there. You'll be surprised to know that I have 32 KRAs. On the contrary, there are people in my team who only have 2 to 3 KRAs that are there. The only reason why I have so many KRAs is that I developed that trust within my bosses, my MD, my CEO, my vice president, that I'm capable of doing it. And they just are very, very happy to give on the work to me. That is there. And I always prove them right that you trusted the right person to do the work. Be very optimistic about yourself. Never think that, oh, how it's going to happen. Trust me, with time, everything happens. So be confident about that. Be as enthusiastic about this work, even if it is a simple thing as filing, just taking printouts, just punching it and putting in the file. Trust me, it helps you in a long way. No work is small, all work is important. For example, I'll tell you, let me talk about the importance of filing that is there. Appraisal is happening or some hike is happening for an employee, and some of the customer appreciation emails are not filed, and the bosses just go ahead, reviewed the file, and say, no, this is not applicable for an appraisal or a hike for that matter. Why? Because that page is missing. So just imagine for an employee losing out on that percentage of hike that was there. So trust me, every job is important. No job is little, no job is small. Everything is very, very important. Be cooperative, be very committed to your work. If you're committed to your work, then you're committed to yourself, and you're committed to your pocket and your bank account as well. So that is very, very important. Yeah. So I'll just quickly not take much of time. This is a long presentation because I take it for the engineers. But it is very important to also understand at the same point of time what is the attitude, in attitude, what is the science of knowing why. The skill is the science of knowing how, and knowledge is the science of knowing what. So similarly, attitude helps you with an initial drive, which pulls you from the latent state to the energetic state. So for example, even if I've worked till 4 or 5 in the morning and I'm getting up at 8:30, I'm playing just, loud EDM music to wake myself up, and just sailing through the day as if, and nobody knows that I've not slept the entire night yesterday, but still I'm sailing through it. So you have to encourage yourself to be energetic every single day. Skills are very important because they are going to play a very, very crucial role, a visible role that is going to help you govern your everyday work life that is there. If you have the skill, you'll do it. If you don't have the skill, you'll not do it. Like Tarun was talking about the importance of Excel that is there. I'll be very honest, I did not know how to put in formulas in Excel when I joined the company. And like he very correctly said, YouTube is the biggest knowledge place. It's not just for music, it's not just for movie trailers. Trust me, you have many interactive videos that are there that will help you in learning these things. Similarly, understand the importance of Microsoft 365. We guys are pretty fortunate enough that we are studying. You guys are studying in a fantastic institute. I have myself been a part of it. I really regret the fact that I didn't utilize all the resources that were available in the university at that point of time. I never took out the time to look into various tools that are now applicable in my daily life. Like SharePoint is there, Trello is there, Canva is there, and these are very important aspects of your life, because these are the ones that you're going to work in every day. It's not going to be like, what am I doing, I'm just doing a paperwork or something like that. You have to use these business analytics tools every day. When your CEO is going to call you and is going to ask you what the attrition rate is, you won't have the time to calculate, oh, this is the formula that is there. You just have to pick up the data, put it in the tool, and just get it print out and just run within the 15 minutes to tell them how to calculate, to tell them what is the attrition and what are the strategies to go ahead with it. So please focus upon all the technological skills that are available on YouTube. Coursera is offering, Udemy is offering. Invest in this. Trust me, 300 rupees of Netflix or 300 rupees at Udemy, it's the same. It won't make you that much of a difference. But when you enter the professional life, you'll understand, if I would have done that earlier, I would not have had that embarrassment in the office. Oh, I did not know how to, probably apply the formula of VLOOKUP. Many of people of you gonna be like, what is VLOOKUP, right? But trust me, it's a very important formula when you're gonna work about it. So coming to knowledge, it is the foundation for supporting very two pillars that are attitude and skill, and knowledge only comes when we ask for it. So be happy that we've got amazing faculty here at Amity School of Business, and they are there to help you understand various aspects of every day-to-day learning that are there. I personally would like to thank all the faculty, the members, those who are available on this panel today with us, and the people, those who are not there. I really, from the bottom of my heart, would like to thank you in making me the professional that I am today. And if it hadn't been for you, I don't think so I would have, blossomed up that well. It's your guidance, it's your mentorship, and I'm forever grateful to you. So thank you, Dr. Jaiswal, for inviting me to this platform. Ruchi ma'am, it's a great pleasure seeing you again. So thank you so much for the opportunities.
Well, Pranita, the pleasure is all ours to listen to our students. And I'm so happy to see you oozing out with confidence. In 2 years, you are doing a very good job. So proud of you. And there's just one thing on a lighter note I would like to say, that when you were talking about the interpersonal skills, I could see a big smile on Tarun's face. I think he was trying to echo the fact, yes, that is what happens with all of us. But we have to learn. We have to learn how to take the things. Thank you so much, Pranita, for being here. And next time, please don't drive at a speed of 100.
Yeah. Again,
you can be late. Everybody,
yes.
For everybody, please don't drive fast. You can be late to an event, that does not matter, but please don't drive that fast.
Yes. It's ma'am, something that I've learned is that I've learned things, I have learned to unlearn things. So
Yes.
still I'm learning to manage my time, and I think the learning never stops. Every day there's a new learning that is there. So yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Please guys, be careful on roads.
Yes. Thank you so much, Pranita. So next I will like to invite Ayush, who graduated BBA with majors in marketing from ASB. He graduated with first class with distinction in BBA, and he was also presented as Salvers Award for Excellence in Knowledge Creation for the batch of 2019. He was awarded a scholarship to attend his fourth semester in the Claflin University as a part of the study abroad program. And it was his internship there that allowed him to understand their culture and became a part of his personality and the rich heritage. And he was also awarded the Best All-Rounder Award for the batch 2016-19 during the convocation. Well, this is what I'm reading out, which we and Ayush discussed. There is a small instance which I would like to share. Ayush, I hope you remember. that when this, this best all-rounder award is a kind of a surprise which the students get. And Ayush also got a surprise, and he got a shock because he was not there at the convocation. He had already gone to Canada. And I remember I was sitting in the first row with other awardees of his batch, and he kept on calling from Canada, ma'am, नहीं मुझे तो वो अवार्ड चाहिए, मैं कैसे कैसे ले सकता हूँ मैम, who can go on my behalf. So
That
I
I
still
remember
remember.
distinctly, ma'am. I completely remember that
So
scene.
I remember other, maybe I may have not talked to Ayush that often, but I remember that one of the friends gave a phone call which was on an international number, and he said, "Ma'am, somebody wants to talk to you." I go, "Who?" So Ayush was like, "Ma'am, like I want that award," and I was
Yes,
also so
ma'am.
helpless. I was also so
Lavanch
helpless.
was Lavanch was there, ma'am, that day, and he was like, "Where are you?"
And we are so proud that our students go on the main stage and they get a best all rounder, and he was not there. In any case, Ayush, I think some correction. Yeah. So Ayush, in any case, although you did not go there to receive the salver, but that personality and your everything which you did to achieve that remains with you and with all your faculty members. So I was thinking that one day I'll tell you, does not matter you go there or not, it remains with you always.
Thank you
So
so much, ma'am, for your wise words.
so he completed his MBA from Thomson Rivers University, and during his MBA only, he had the opportunity to lead the MBA club, to not only organize various events on the campus but also to participate in national MBA competition. He is currently working as an advisor for SBI marketing, and he had to woke up maybe 2 hours early because he's joining us from Canada right now. So, Ayush, I would request you to please share your words of wisdom with our students.
For sure, ma'am. Thank you so much. First of all, good evening, everybody. Hello, Pranita, Tarun, Ria. So nice to see you all. So nice to see all of you, ma'am, faculty, Richard, Jaswal, ma'am, Mrs. Khandelwal, and I see Dr. Goel over there, Dr. Kapoor. It's so nice to be back to the roots, just like Pranita mentioned earlier. Hello, everybody. My name is Ayush Damani, and just like ma'am mentioned, I graduated from the BBA program from Amity University back in 2019. Um, First of all, my first transition into the corporate sector was as a sales representative in the mobile shop. We used to serve as representatives for all the corporate carriers that we have over here in the country. The first thing that I realized as soon as I entered the industry is that I am very bad at this. I am not meant for sales. This is not my forte. I need to go back into marketing. Where am I at? What am I doing? You need to grow. Just like Pranita mentioned, guys, you need to learn every day. Make sure that you learn from your juniors, you learn from your seniors, learn every day. Ask yourself, what is something that makes me stronger today? What is something that makes me better today? What is something that makes me different today from a version of myself which was there yesterday, a previous version, a smaller version? I transitioned from that sales representative role into an advisor role for the organization which owns the mobile shop, which is at SDI Marketing. As an advisor, one thing that I faced an issue, which I never thought should be a very big issue for anybody. That's just like Tarun mentioned, and I would reiterate the exact same thing: is accountability. Once you own the account, once you have accountability in a conversation, you'll realize that you start taking ownership of of that conversation. You start controlling that conversation, moderating it in your own manner. That part is something that I started understanding differently. And something that was worrisome for me in that journey is how to bestow that accountability, how to make my team realize how their work, how each and every single task, say their opening from the day to the closing at the end of the day, is important, how they matter to the team, how we contribute, how each person contributes exactly in the overall organization. This is something that I learned and I'm still learning. Gradually, it's a slow, it's a very slow game. It's a work in progress. So that is one thing that I started building on in ASB while I was working with Pranita in the HR club. We started working together. We used to hold many events, all of that good stuff. Lastly, this is very short, but this is what I would advise to all second year, third year students, guys, sell yourself. You always have, what is your aim after, say, end of your third year period or your fifth year period once you've completed your program? Ask yourself what is going to be different on, let's take my name, what is going to be different on Ayush's resume, which is complete unique to his personal resume, and not on the other 500 graduates. Is that internship that Ria was talking about? Is that Microsoft Excel that Tarun was discussing earlier? Or is that that aim, that perspective that Pranita mentioned in her speech? What is different? What makes you different? Why should that HR manager or that recruiter choose you before choosing the other candidate? If there is nothing different, if you're still that 9.5, 9.2 GPA holder, trust me, guys, you need to work a lot. A lot. Lastly, the silliest advice of all time, whether you're whatever position of your life you're in, you are in your second year, you're in your third year, you are an intern, you're a marketing, you're a business owner, have fun. Have fun in what you do. You grow together, you work together, you work on yourself, you build yourself every day. Pranita, just like she mentioned, the struggle is real. Guys, it is worth it, but at the same time, do not sacrifice the time that you are in right now. When I look back, uh, this is something that I've been hearing since I was a kid. 12th clear कर ले, उसके बाद life easy, perfect, simple. नहीं नहीं नहीं, BBA clear कर ले, उसके बाद MBA is awesome. Nope, after MBAs, everything's gonna be good. You're gonna get placed in a very, very good organization, and then you're gonna have a lot of fun. No, no, no. Just after you become a manager, you'll realize what kind of fun you can actually have. No, that is not true. Always have this theory that we used to have in one of our courses. Always have a goal in your mind, not just a short-term goal, but a long-term goal. I'll take my personal example in this scenario. My short-term goal, oh, all right, what I need to do is I'll need to focus on destroying accountability for now. Then I need to, as soon as I transition from, say, an sales representative role into an advisor or managerial position, I said to myself, okay, Ayush, this is it. These 3 months, I'm gonna have fun. Say June to August, December, some 6 months, I'm gonna have fun, and then I'm gonna start preparing for the second role. What is a senior advisor do that I won't be able to do? What extra roles, what extra responsibilities does he or she have that makes him or her senior advisor and not me? Always have that mindset and have fun. So that would be my advice to all the second year students. And thank you so much. This is all about me.
Thank you so much, Ayush. Yes, of course. The first three people only mentioned about the various learning. The most important was left, that fun. Fun is very important. And Ayush, thank you so much for joining so early in the morning. And we look forward to meeting all four of you again on a different kind of a platform, maybe in a physical setting where we can meet over a cup of coffee. And we definitely look forward to seeing you, right? So, Ruchi Khandelwal ma'am, I would like to invite you to deliver a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ruchika. I am I audible, Ruchika? My voice
Yes,
is
ma'am.
clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So as I was saying, after I listened to Ria and Tarun, that it's just in scene that, just 2-3 years back, these students, or rather, I mean, these young boys and girls were our students. And now they are speaking like some mature corporate person. In fact, what I really like is that your passion about learning. So what I found common among all of you was that you realize the fact that you need to learn, and when you have that kind of understanding that you need to learn, then you will learn from anything or everything that comes your way. So whether it's a success or failure, you have a lesson to learn from it. Okay, so of course I know that we can count on the best students that we have, because we know that these are the students that perhaps will not say no to us when we reach out to them. But I definitely want that through this platform we are able to call all our alumni. I mean, not just the so-called best students that have always been there at a, probably at a hand's reach, that we just need to pick up a call and, we'll say, please join and I know they will join, because they are the ones who are close to us, and they would like to come back to their alma mater. So it's always nice to hear to all the alumni. But my earnest request to all of you is that, I would want more people from your batches to come over. So I would also want you to be the ambassadors in your batch, and, connect the people. Like Tarun said, Ayush said, Pranita said, Riya said, networking is very, very important. And, unless we can network together, we cannot cash upon this strength of alumni that we have. I've been associated with BBA program for almost 19 years today. And, still today I'm in touch with some of the students that I taught in the first batch. So when I talk to them, of course, that's a completely different level at which we talk. You can imagine, 19 years back, they passed out from here. But then, just imagine that if they join back to this network of alumni and you are also there, the kind of strength that we can become, it's unimaginable. And it will be beneficial to everybody who's connected. Not just to the young ones or the ones that have passed out before, but even to faculty members and all. So, like I was talking to some of these students and I said that, so many times when you are speaking, we feel that we can learn so much from you, because you are there in the industry, you are actually doing. We may have done that like 5 years back, 10 years back, but you are doing it right now. So you can actually tell us what the trends are. And that is the same reason why we keep, our alumni as part of our academic bodies. So recently I got in touch with somebody who is a pass out of batch of 2006. And I requested her and said that please be a part of our board of studies. And she happily agreed. She said, ma'am, it will be so nice, because there are so many things that I really want to suggest. And, there are so many things in which I think I can contribute. So alumni, I think, are the greatest strength of any educational institution. And we really love you for the fact that, we can take pride in your successes, and we can proudly say to everyone, see, this is our student. So even, now that we see posts made by the alumni on the LinkedIn, it feels so great, just to see that, wow, this person is doing so well. And it feels so great that out of those 200 something comments, the person will instantly recognize and say, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for your blessings and thank you for your teaching. So, I somehow feel that through you, the teachers' positions are also getting elevated. So thanks to you. Thanks for, your connect. And I just hope that we can build it more stronger and bigger. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Ruchi ma'am, thank you so much. I would just like to add one thing here. Director sir has not joined. He always says one thing, that, nobody owns an institution more than the alumni. That means you people have the ownership. We can be moving in and out, but it is the students who will always own it, that this is my alma mater, I studied from here. So what Ruchi ma'am has said is absolutely right. Thank you so much for being here. And in fact, I don't feel like asking Nishant to close it. I feel like that we could have met more, we could have a bigger discussion. Yes, Divya ma'am, please, please.
One of them, all of them speak so well. Like I was just listening to everyone, and Pranita just took my name. Like, wow, I don't remember when I introduced you to audit, but then yeah, at times we keep on discussing some things beyond what we are teaching. And I think when you are in industry, there are so many things that you can connect with. And from your experiences, now with this platform which IT has given us, and I think with this pandemic, we are able to connect with a lot of alumni for our guest sessions and everything. So we welcome you all to also come to our classes and share your experiences. And it's wonderful. Tarun, I was just remembering our discussions in the classes. Ayush, all of you, as Ruchi ma'am said, yes, you all are our favorites. But then we need to connect with all of the students. It's lovely to listen to all of you. Yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Divya ma'am. So if Saloni ma'am or maybe Pratibha ma'am, if you want to say something, you're please most welcome. Deepa ma'am was here, but I think she left. Okay. Okay. So Ruchi ma'am, shall we close it?
Yes. So
Okay.
as I said, please remember, please spread the word. And we would like to connect with you again and again, maybe on a bigger platform where more people from your batch can join us and we can have a virtual alumni meet. Amity has very big plans for alumni, by the way, coming up, and you will soon find them, happening. But yes, definitely. I mean, we can start small, but it will be very good for all of us. Thank you so much for joining. And
Thank you so much.
have a good day, Ayush, and all of you have a good
Thank you
night.
so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Nishant, so you can please end the meeting.
Yeah, I'll do that.